Hey guys, how's it going? Buddy Smoosta here. We're gonna just do some basic maintenance today on my 2006 R6s. I bought this bike back in August of 2014, and it was crashed, wrecked, whatever you want to call it. The guy who owned it for me ran from the cops, zigged when he should have zagged, and well, he destroyed the bike. I have put the bike back together, slowly but surely, and I've done the tail swap. A lot of people like it. I actually use the full subframe from the 06. I put the race fairings up top. I actually have OEM fairings on the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and remove my license plate as well while we're doing all this. But I'm going to do oil change. I'm going to double check on my chain slack. And I'm going to actually be replacing my spark plugs today. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first is I'm going to go ahead and remove all the fairings that I need out of the way, just to show you guys and just to make it a little easier in doing my little tutorial, walkthrough, show, you know, whatever you guys want to consider it. Hopefully it's there to benefit you. That's what my whole channel is about, showing you guys good things, great parts. I mean, I'm might as well go ahead and show you a lot of different things that I've done to this bike. I've only owned it since, you know, like I said, August of last year. So I can go ahead and while I'm doing all my maintenance and double checking, I'm going to check my throttle lines, my cables, my throttle bodies, my box, my air box, while I'm changing out my spark plugs, doing my oil change. Just going to do a lot of basic stuff, you know, give you a little glimpse inside of my my daily rider. A lot of people think it's my premier bike, or however you'd like to say it, but that would be that beauty over there. And I'm actually going to be doing the tail swap on that very soon. I'm going to do a whole video on it, a write-up, or not, probably not a write-up, but I'm going to do a video how-to, so that, you know, other people can do it and they're not like, oh man, I love the front end of this bike, but I'm stuck with, you know, a fat ass, but I want to do this one. I mean, I did this in my garage. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and say it's backpack capable. I do not know yet. I will be hopefully testing that later today. But let's see if I can find the mounting bracket. Bam, there we go. Like any bit of weight I've ever put on it, it holds really well. Before I put the fairings on there, it held me, and I'm 185 pounds, 6 foot tall. So I'm not going to say it's perfect. Obviously it's not. I'm not a professional. I'm an idiot who does this stuff in my garage. But I do self-teach myself, and that's what I want to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and go over different features I've done to this bike. That bike we'll do way later. But just little tidbits here and there. Obviously I went with the black and red paint scheme. And I like it. I really do. I have a black and blue one. One of my first bikes was a Ninja 250R, and I love the bike. And it happened to be a black one, so I accented it in red. I've always liked that, you know, the whole Dale Earnhardt thing, whatever you want to consider it. But one of the first things that I like to do to my bikes is I like to get rid of the standard levers, and I cannot stand them mirrors. I gotta get rid of them. So what I have here is this little R6 logoed mirror block offs. I got them off eBay. Maybe 15 bucks, maybe less. I can't even remember, it's been so long. Because these were actually on my other bike. I got different ones from Sport Bike Billet Parts. I can't remember, but that's got the new generation logo, and I'll go show you that in a second just because I brought it up. I got my shorty levers. Definitely had to go with the black with the red accents. I paid 30 bucks for these on eBay. They work just as good as ASV. I had ASV at one point in time on a different bike that I ended up wrecking, and I was retarded and I left them on there. But since having ASVs, I realized these are the same damn thing. I can actually interchange a lot of the parts. So I went ahead and got me another $30 pair of levers, which I've not tightened this down. I was actually removing my box, the safety switch on the bottom of it. But yeah, I got my levers, my mirror block offs. First things that gotta go, and when we do that, gotta have a mirror. Gotta stay legal. So I usually get the bar ends. I love the way they look. They're nice. They're classy. Kind of gives that cafe racer kind of style. So I like those. Usually I use two, but I only have one left because my other one decided to break on the highway yesterday. Yeah, so I got a good vanity mirror. Anyways, so I like the bar end mirrors, mirror deletes, shorty levers. My biggest thing, you know, and it's not something that you have to do. It's always just a suggestion I make to people. I got lucky. I actually have one on both of my bikes. But I like the GPR steering stabilizer. Very easy to install, very easy to uninstall. It goes right over your steering stem bolt. The mount goes over it. You don't use your actual washer because the mount replaces that. And it bolts right where your tank does. One little lever, you can set the stiffness of your stabilizer, how much resistance you want onto your handlebars. Which I love GPR. They're very simple. They're well placed, well designed. I like the way they look. I don't really like the way Olin's does the large slider. I feel like that can possibly get in the way, whereas this is clearly out of the way. There's nothing impeding it, and it can do its job. Like I said, I have another one over here. I really enjoy them. And like I said, I got this one on 6. Lift it up. And it's got very strong resistance. But if I set it down to 1, bam, back and forth. And like I said, you could just go through your own paces of what you want, how you want it. Major thing it is it's exactly as it says. It's a steering stabilizer. It's there. It has hydraulic fluid inside of it. And if any of you guys watch enough motorcycle videos, you'll see someone do a tank slap. That's what these prevent, or that's what their job is, to try to prevent, as well as give you the correct amount of steering you want for cornering. So I love GPR steering stabilizers. They're fantastic. They're expensive, but they're very well worth the money. And these are my new mirror blogos from Billet Bike Super Part something whatever. Anyways, I'll move on. Yeah, I did get frame sliders. They're like 15 bucks on eBay. I'm sorry, a lot of things at eBay. It's cheap. They're good parts. I buy them all the time. I mean, I can't really beat it. Like these things right here, same thing as what's in my local shop. They cost like 30, 40 in my shop. eBay, 15 bucks, free shipping, bam, on the way. This is adjustable rear sets. Fully adjustable, front, rear, sideways, lift them up, lift them down. I like them. I feel they improve the look of the bike, and where my feet get placed whenever I adjusted them to my height, my feel, the way I like to ride, so much more comfortable. Like sometimes I felt like my pegs were a little too far forward, too far down. It didn't really feel right as a super bike or a super sport. So having the adjustable rear sets, I can change all of that, and it's fantastic. As well as them being adjustable rear sets, this is actually a GP shift kit. So instead of my shifter going through my frame like normal and going 1 down, 5 up, I go 1 up, 5 down. I love it. It's very comfortable. Absolutely remarkable. And again, my feet get placed wherever I want. Like I have these on different settings due to the make, build, height, whatever, but I have them matched to where I like. And that's the great thing. You put it however you want it to be. Now, going to my actual shift actuator. This is the Daytona 675, a Triumph Daytona 675 actuator. And yes, I got that just because it is red. And it looked cool and it matched. So, I don't know if I can get some light going on back there. We got a flashlight this time. But, another thing I really advise people with the 2nd Gen R6 is that right there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's a Giles tooling. I probably said that wrong, so I do apologize. But it's a shift shaft support. The shift shaft that comes out of the transmission comes out 55 millimeters. And sometimes when shifting or hard racing or hard running it, or you know, just when you're dogging the piss out of these bikes, because if anybody's got one, you know you've done it. You can get like a rubbery feel for the shifting, or if it won't go in all the way, or especially when you're just trying to quick shift and go, sometimes it just bounces back out. Well, having this shift shaft support, instead of it being that 55 millimeters, it shortens it up. It makes it much stiffer, much more accurate and correct shift points. There's no play in it. That thing is sturdy. And again, I have one on both of my bikes. I really like it. I tested it on this bike first. This is my test dummy. I do a lot of testing on it, and then I transfer it over if I like it enough. But I like it. They're about 65 bucks. Some places have them for 90. Just got to know where to look. eBay. So I definitely suggest my two favorite performance mods, I guess you could call it. I love the shift shaft support. It is dramatically changed the way this bike runs. And my GPR steering stabilizer. Two biggest things I would go for support performance wise is bam, knocking those two out. You want better shifting, better stabilization. I can't express how important being able to properly shift and being able to stay on your bike is. It's important, obviously. We don't ever want to go down. But you know, those are my two favorite mods. Everybody has their own differences. So aesthetically, I like getting rid of the long levers. I like getting rid of the mirrors. Bar end mirror, shorty levers, block offs. And performance wise, I like my shift shaft support, which is my new favorite, and my GPR steering stabilizer. Anyways, let's go into my drivetrain. I have a Super Sprox 15 tooth front sprocket, which is very impressive. And see if we can get it to roll back. My dumb self has it in gear. Alright. Yeah, and I got a Super Sprox 48 tooth in the rear. The full thing's 520 swap, 520 conversion. Pretty much you change out your front and rear sprocket and your chain size to 520 pitch. It's not a really big deal. The conversion just sounds more complicated than it is. You just buy all 520 pitch items, put them on there, good to go. Biggest thing about it is when you change a pitch of one, you got to change a pitch of all. If you change out your sprockets, you got to change out your chain. Change out your chain, got to change out your sprockets. 100% of the time, that's the best thing to ever do. If you have to, change out your sprockets, run your chain until you can get a new one, or vice versa, swap out your chain until you can get new sprockets. But the Super Sprox is what I'm running right now, a 1548 setup. So yes, it is the Quick Excel with the 520 pitch. And then I have right now on there is an RK racing chain, an RK RX O-ring chain. Fantastic. I've had these this particular type of chain on my bikes before. I love it. I've had it on that bike over there. Actually, I have one on there right now. Love the chain. I've had this on there for about a month, and I've yet to need to adjust it. And I'm not gonna have to adjust it today. And these Super Sprox, I'm really impressed with them. I've dogged the shit out of it the past couple weeks, and I don't see any chipping, like I've seen some of the paint come off, but I have no noticeable wear and tear. These things literally look exactly as I put them on. Well, minus a little bit of shaving of the color. But other than that, I have no stretching. They look great. And I'll